Okay, so you want to start out by making sure your serger has the right stitch. Just use some type of a scrap fabric just to kind of test it to make sure you're ready to go. Nice and strong. Yes. Actually, I did do some kind of adjusting. So then you just want to take your fabric or your dress and you want to start to circle. There we go. It's just kind of feed. And you want to move those pins away as you go. Wow, this is a little bit different for me. It's a new serger, so I'm excited about that. It actually does a pretty good job. But you want to be sure to get those pins way away. And as you can see, it just kind of cuts as it goes. It's really cool to have a serger that finishes your seams. That done, and then we'll look the other side. Isn't that cool, guys? So you just want to kind of make sure your fabric is lined up. That bottom piece, that you can kind of see that bottom piece as I'm going here. I just want to make sure I can see the bottom piece, as you can see there. Remove our pin. We're on the other side. So just remove your pins as you go. You want to be able to see the bottom piece, so to make sure you're keeping both pieces together. It would be a horrible thing if you didn't catch the bottom piece. So you just want to make sure you see that bottom piece, which is probably the top piece on the back. And removing pins as you go. Okay, a little dinner music while we're waiting. A little dinner music would be nice. Come guys. As we're sewing, or maybe a little hip hop, something like that would be nice also. Just having fun as we go. And we're going to start doing those side seams. So as you notice, the threads are the exact, pretty much, I matched them up as close as I could. And as you can see, a nice serge. A little bit loose, but I think for the most part it looks pretty nice. Then you want to make sure you cut your strings as you go. Okay, so I'm going to do a side-by-side straight stitch on a piece of cloth. This is a piece of broadcloth. It's not the same type fabric, stretchy fabric that we're using for the tube dress, but so that you can see a straight stitch. And what I am talking about, this is what I mean on a white piece of fabric. And you got that blue thread. And then you want to go again, always cut off your threads. And then you want to go again and you want to do another stitch right next to it. I always like to see my presser foot at the end, right here where the presser foot is. I can see it. I can see that thread right next to it. But what this is right here is a 3/8, and then the seam that I'm making right now is a 5/8. So you can do a side-by-side like this, and that's just a straight stitch. But I would recommend that you do 2 stitches on your seams. It doesn't have to be that wide apart. It can be even narrower. But you definitely want to reinforce it with 2 stitches on each seam. And so that would be for the tube dress. Okay, so next we're going to do a quick press. We're going to press the hems. So as I mentioned to you, you want to, what I've already done is turn the dress inside out. So I'm working from the inside now. So I'm gonna just put it kind of like that over my ironing board. And I'm going to make sure that my hem is about 2 inches all the way around, so that I'm sure you got it nice and pinned. As you're turning it, just kind of making sure that you have your hem 2 inches all the way around. Pretty much, I mean, for the most part. Sometimes it might be just a little bit off, but for the most part, let's try to keep it around 2 inches all the way around. So just want to make sure we mark it. So now we're just going to press it down, guys. Just begin to press it. Press that hem down. Okay, so I'm going to show you another quick, simple technique. We want to continue to press, just like I showed you before, pressing that hem down. And then we're going to turn that hem over. We're going to turn it again. So you have 1 inch. Remember it's supposed to be 2 inches, so you're going to turn it over another inch, and then you're going to turn it over again. So that's the way we're going to do it. And then we're going to pin it in place, just like this, as we're pressing it down. So again, you just want to turn it over, just like that. And we are going to press it down all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to do a straight stitch hem on it. Okay, so you're ready for your straight stitch hem, and I am going to do about a 7/8 of a. That's where my measurement is on my machine, and I'm kind of doing like a basic stitch. So just kind of take your time. You want to try to stay on the 7/8 so that it stays even. So, and as you can see how I have my pins situated, I don't necessarily have to take them out, but it's still good to kind of take them out, but you don't necessarily have to. But like I said, just stay on the 7/8 of a seam allowance. Again, this is like about a 1 inch hem is what we have. So just we're gonna sew it all the way around. All the way around that hem. Okay. And so I can't iterate enough how important pressing is. So once you get that hem stitched up, you want to press your garment. You see how I'm going to press my seam down. So just press like you normally would. Pressing is so important. It makes it look so professional when you press. You gotta press your garments out because it really does make it look nice and professional. So nice press job is awesome. Just press it over, keep rolling it over, turning it over, and pressing. So now we're going to take a measurement. I need to get a measurement right up at the top of your bust, just right along and all through the back. So just right up underneath the arm. So you have to do this kind of lift your hands so I can see what kind of measurement we'll get. And I am getting a 33 and a half right across there. So that's what we need to make that top. Okay. We're going to add some elastic, the elastic to the top portion of it. As you can see here, I'm going to sew it right along the edge of that. So just kind of follow along. You can pin it in if you like, but just follow along with me as I sew that right around that front edge, just like this on top of that. So just follow along with me as we do that together. Okay. So you just want to slip your fabric or your garment and your elastic right in the machine, and we're just going to go right through and sew it right in. You might kind of want to make sure we're going to have plenty. So that elastic is just going to give her more of a hold where it doesn't come off. Pretty much that's what's going to happen with that elastic. So you just want to kind of go right through all thickness, all the way around. That elastic is, like I said, it's just going to give it more support. Around it with that elastic. And as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of a stretch on that elastic, not much. We don't want a whole lot of stretching. So we want it to be comfortable on her. So just a little bit. More support, I think she'll appreciate, and you will probably, no doubt, appreciate that support so that you don't lose your garment. So, I just want to go all the way around it, and we're done. That portion. Back stitch and pull it out. Okay. So, once you have your elastic sewed in, we're going to just take that garment and we're going to fold it over. See, we got about 1 inch elastic, so it's actually perfect because it's going to just kind of fold just like that, right back over, and it's going to just be perfect. So that's what you want to do, and then we're just going to sew it down. See how I got that? You can take that the back off if you want, but you're just going to turn it over just like that, and we're going to sew it all the way down through all thickness. Okay, so I went ahead and decided to pin it in so that you can see it. Now I'm going to stretch my elastic just slightly, just like that. So you see how I got it pinned in, and you see the elastic on the other side or the inside. So you just want to go through, and you're just going to sew through all thickness. Just like that. Keep it at about the same 7/8 of an inch as we did for the hem. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing a little stretch because see how that's going to bulk up a little bit. So you want that fabric to kind of stretch out, and the elastic, because the elastic itself is what's causing it to come in a little bit. It will bounce back once it's done, or even out. Those pins makes it nice and easy to sew with when you have your pins in place. So just continue to stretch, and you want to be as careful as you can. Keep it even and all the way back, almost back to where we started. Oops. It's like I ran out of thread. Okay, so like I said, we're all the way back where we started is where the goal is. So I did run out of thread. It's a horrible feeling is to run out of thread, guys, especially on a very important part. So you just kind of want to continue to stretch just slightly to make sure it has that elasticity that we need, the tightening that we need to hold it secure in place. So almost got the way around to where I started. Hey, sometimes it wants to kind of bulk up on you, and you just gotta kind of put it. And I am done, guys. All right, it's time to try it on. It's time to try it on. You back stitch and then you cut your strings. Always remember to cut your strings. Very important when it comes to sewing. Cut those strings. You don't want somebody to come along and try to pull that string out and mess up all your work. So, cut this out. Ready to try it on?